Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and the third sneak peek for the Hulk update has arrived, and we have our first tease for a brand new villain. So let's check this out. We have returned to bring some information about the species in the laboratory. It appears some dark forces have come to explore the research facility. Our team was able to capture the following image in the midst of the break-in. Can you notice anything particular about the image? These jars contain some kinds of various green matter. It's the Hulk's parts, dude. We're getting close to uncovering the secrets of the laboratory. If you see anything else, let us know and stay tuned for the next teaser. Okie dokie. Cool. There's actually a lot more, but let's jump over to Twitter. Twitter has a lot more information. My goodness. So, this beast's grotesque appearance is his monstrous strength and hatred towards the Hulk made manifest. He could even be called an abomination. And here we're going to talk about Abomination and who he is. I believe his name's Emil something. But let's just go ahead and check out the sneak peek now, and you'll hear a familiar voice in the background. One more time. Nice. It is extremely dangerous, strong, and something else. So, if you guys can't tell who that is Kim from the Cage and Kim live streams, basically playing the part of a reporter, telling everyone that there's a monster on the loose in downtown, and this is, of course, the blurry image of Abomination as he sort of hulks his way through, steps through, and then we see his reflection again in the jars. And this is actually something that hit me yesterday. There's his facial reflection. This is actually something that hit me yesterday when I was thinking about the jars and thinking about all the sneak peeks. All of the sneak peeks for Red She-Hulk, She-Hulk's new uniform, Amadeus Cho's new uniform, and now Abomination, they've all been reflections. Just like how in Immortal Hulk, most of the issues and so many of the panels feature reflections. Bruce Banner looking into a mirror and seeing the reflection of the Hulk looking into the reflection of glass or something else and seeing his father. He looks into the reflection of the moon, right? And he sees something else, the reflection of water. So the sneak peek team, my goodness, just absolutely magnificent, beautiful. They're so smart. They're so good at what they do. And there's such a strong tie to the comics here, and I feel like Marvel needs to do a little bit more for the Marvel Future Fight sneak peek team, and they really have to emphasize this, because I think a lot of diehard Marvel fans could really appreciate this kind of stuff. Now, it doesn't really make its way into the game in that sense, but man, if you're like a diehard comic book fan, seeing this kind of stuff, it's like the comics come to life. You know, it's the references and the sort of the back and forth and the mirroring is quite fantastic. So we are going to get into who Abomination is, and of course 1967 is the first appearance of Abomination in the comic books. But first, if you go to Marvel's Marvel Future Fight, Twitter page, there is another post. It wasn't just the sneak peek, and that's why I mentioned that we have the details for when the update is landing. Here we go. So a lot sooner than I thought, the live stream for the Facebook live stream, or the Facebook pre-recorded stream, is going to be happening for the next update on Friday, June 26th, which is like 2 days from now, which is crazy, which means that coupled with the fact that the pre-update quest has started, and the pre-update quest, I cannot press these buttons. The pre-update quest, nope, I missed it there, is ending in 5 days. That would mean that the update is slated, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's slated for the 1st of July. So yeah, the turn of the month, we're getting this update. So we're a week away. At this point you're watching this video, we're less than a week away from the update. So I should be getting the APK in like 2 or 3 days tops, which is crazy. Now going back to that image really quickly, because I think a lot of people are going to have the same reaction that I had. Boy, oh boy. So we see Red She-Hulk looking okay, and then we see She-Hulk. And I gotta say, listen, I know these are not necessarily the final product, the final in-game character models, but this is the first time in a long time that I've criticized Marvel Future Fight for the quality. Let me just zoom this in so you guys can take a better look here. But yeah, I don't know what to say. She-Hulk, Red She-Hulk looks very plain. There's not a lot of detail anywhere here. It almost looks 2D. Her hair looks really flat, and then her face just looks very strange. And it almost looks like they sort of just they copied and pasted someone's nose and someone else's lips, and they sort of just slapped it together. It looks bad. And it looks sloppy, and it looks like 2016. Like, these graphics do not look like 2020. And then again, maybe I'm being picky, but man, She-Hulk looks bad. Really low res arms, really bad cutout here on this side of the arm. Like, there's no definition at all. Looks extremely 2D. And then I don't know what's going on with her face, man. I don't know what's going on. If you compare, look at this. This was more than a year ago. This was the beginning of 2019. Look at the level of detail in that face. Look at the way the hair sits, right? Shiny, right? There's so much detail. The face looks like it's put together properly. It's a face that matches her. The muscles look good, right? You compare this now to this. This looks like it's 2020. This looks like it's 2016. So yeah, listen, if you're the devs, if the devs are listening, if you guys can go and like fix this, thanks. That'd be great. Guys, you know, it worries me just a little bit because that's one of the only things that we still have to hang on to. You know, the game modes are old and dusty. The rewards are bad. The gameplay is stale. The only thing that we say is still top notch and top quality in Marvel Future Fight is the character models and the animations. What are those? Those character models look like trash. I'm sorry, but they do not look up to par. And if this is the direction the game is going in for character models, then this game is in a full host of trouble. But yeah, hopefully they're gonna fix it. So yeah, June 26th, the update live stream. So the update's very, very close. Man, this is gonna give me nightmares. Anywho, let's now go back and talk about Abomination, because there's a little bit of confusion between Abomination, A-Bomb, and all of these characters. So I'm gonna try and sort of, you know, fix things, because yeah, some people are confused. So Abomination, this is Abomination. Let's resize this so it looks okay. This is Abomination. Abomination looks sort of like a lizard man, and he's really big and muscular. That's him. He's in Contest of Champions as well, and I believe his real name is Emil Blonsky, and he was a KGB agent, sort of like a Russian spy, but I believe he wasn't born in Russia. I can't remember where he was born. And he wants to become sort of like the Hulk's nemesis, or he wants to defeat the Hulk. So he goes, I'm going to give you like a short synopsis of the character's history here. He goes to New Mexico, where Bruce Banner became the Hulk, right? After Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk, he goes to that nuclear test site, and he exposes himself to, I think, as much or more gamma radiation than the Hulk than Bruce Banner was exposed to when he turned into the Hulk, and he turns into Abomination. And originally, it's actually really interesting. I read about this. Originally, Stan Lee wanted Abomination to be bigger and stronger than the Hulk. So originally, when he's introduced in 1967, he beats the crap out of the Hulk in their first fight, and he wins. And he's just straight up, he's bigger and stronger. And he's not like the Hulk in the sense that he becomes dumb, or at least the original Hulk. Hulk's gone through so many different transformations. You've got Grey Hulk, you've got Mr. Joe Fixie, you've got, you know, all these different kinds of Hulks. You know, Immortal Hulk, Devil Hulk. No, this guy, Abomination, does keep his intelligence when he transforms. I don't believe he's nearly as smart as Bruce Banner, but he does have some differences. And obviously, facially speaking, this is the one from the movie, by the way. But facially speaking, he looks different, right? He looks much more reptilian. He's got these like sort of scales going on. He's got those weird ears. So he doesn't really look like the Hulk. But his base power level is supposed to be above the Hulk's base power level. So that's pretty interesting. However, unlike the Hulk, and this is sort of interesting way that maybe they can separate these characters to define them better in the game, because we don't really want the Abomination to just be a combat villain version of the Hulk, right? Abomination is actually stronger than the Hulk. Again, not every instance of the Hulk, right? But originally, the way that it goes, Abomination is stronger than the Hulk, but unlike the Hulk, Abomination doesn't get stronger the longer a fight goes on and the angrier he gets. So if the fight is very short, then Abomination can just, you know, pin the Hulk, and obviously it's the Hulk down here. You guys can't see, but it's the Hulk, and punch him and beat him up or whatever, knock him out, or, you know, whatever, but subdue him. But if the fight lasts long enough and Hulk gets angry enough, then his power will exceed Abomination's power, and then he'll be able to beat him. So it's interesting to, you know, see that there's some difference in these characters, despite the fact that they are literally exactly the same otherwise, besides their look and their name, because Abomination's whole history is just like, oh, Bruce Banner became the Hulk like that? I'll just go do the exact same thing and get the exact same powers. And otherwise, he basically has all the exact same powers. I believe the only other thing that Abomination has, which sort of accounts for the weird lizard-like ears, is he has gills. So I believe that he can breathe underwater, and he can sort of hold his breath for a lot longer because of that. I don't know. That doesn't really help him fighting the Hulk, but it's just something. So yeah, that's Abomination, and this is just another image of them fighting. And in this one, he looks like he almost doesn't have eyes. It's quite strange. But yeah, so we're getting Abomination. We're getting, you know, Red She-Hulk. We're getting Abomination, 2 new characters. They might both be villains. We don't know. And then we're getting new uniforms for She-Hulk and Amadeus Cho. Hopefully, we will see a uniform for the Hulk, possibly a tier 3. It would be very cool and nice as well. And nice if we got a new uniform for Red Hulk, because right now he's the only one left out of this Hulk party. And Red Hulk, along with Amadeus Cho, are the worst Hulks in the game. So they definitely need some love to come back in some way in the meta. And last but not least, I want to leave you guys with this one, because prior to us finding out, in every previous update, when they've announced since the Awakening characters have been released and they've announced the stream, one of the characters shown on the Facebook update announcement image has been the character to get the Awakening. So if that follows suit, then it means Abomination won't be getting an Awakening skill. It means Hulk won't get an Awakening skill. Amadeus Cho won't get an Awakening skill. And Red Hulk won't get an Awakening skill. But it does mean that it narrows our options down for an Awakening skill to Red She-Hulk and She-Hulk. Personally, if you ask me, you can take a second to guess what I would pick. But personally, if you ask me, I would choose She-Hulk to get an Awakening skill, because she's an existing character and it's going to bring her power level up more. And then they would have to focus less on her skills and less on her abilities. And that way they can still make her strong in her own way without making her a character that just needs to be awakened in order to be strong. That's sort of the problem with characters like Red Guardian. Sure, the Awakening skill might be good, but they sort of built the character's power level around the Awakening skill. So that means prior to the Awakening skill, he's kind of lackluster. He's not bad per se, but he's still not going to be able to keep up. And so it's really just a matter of, you know, if you're willing to spend those resources to awaken him, then maybe he can be useful, but otherwise he's not going to do much outside of a Shadowland clear. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think of Abomination. Let me know what you think of the artwork for and the character models for Red She-Hulk and Red She-Hulk and She-Hulk. I am personally mortified. And then Abomination. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.